Hi guys, welcome to Manhood Explained. My name is Camille and today is 21st of January 2020 and welcome to live number 25. The round number, yes. Well, last live I talked to you about kind of turning this whole thing and kind of concentrating on yourself as a guy and trying to help you to find a way to build your self confidence, build your self awareness, to ramp it up, so you'll be able to bring it to your relationship. Because that how it goes. And I told you about this test that I'm doing again. Those lives are one of the things that I do, just to do one thing at a time for 365 days or longer, just to give yourself a lot, because it teaches you a lot doing something for someone times, but it brings your self-confidence. And you could just watch my first video and watch it now and see this completely different story, but it's obvious. But I thought, how can I show you something else besides just the theory and maybe this kind of practice right now? What can I tell you, and what are the rules that help you to build your self-confidence, by looking into the mirror? Because many times I see that what I say, I may be seeing from this position of already achieving some of the stuff that maybe you struggle with how to get there. So I thought, let me tell you today two stories from my life and kind of show you the things that I've experienced along the way that gave me kind of a way to build my self-confidence, and then kind of see how people reacted, and then they confirmed it. Let me just go through the stories and tell you what it is. I hope it will help you to look at your life and get the same thing. So you can be one of two people. One, you can be someone who's just young, maybe, I don't know, 15 or something, and you're trying to find a way how it's gonna work. What can you expect? How you should build it all. So yesterday video will be kind of more for you, out of the what you're supposed to do kind of standpoint. But I know that today, when I'll tell you the story, you will see what can you expect from doing this, and how simple it is, and what to do. But maybe you're the other kind of person. Maybe you're like, I don't know, 30, 40, 50, and you still, even though you experience a lot, you don't have your self-confidence. So I'll kind of show you how to connect it all, because when I figured it out, it was amazing to look at my life kind of back in time. But let me start with the first story. So this is something that kind of had influence on me for a very young age, because this is the situation. I'm more or less 8, if I remember it correctly, but I had to be less than 10. And looking at time, I think I was more or less 8. We are going to one of my friends, and with the whole family. Uh, we're in a lift going up on the 10th floor. Their apartment was on the 10th floor, or 8, doesn't matter. We're in the lift. There's my brother, my mother, and myself. I'm not remembering if there's anyone else. Doesn't matter. I think it might be the whole family, but it doesn't matter. We are on the lift going up, and just before the door opened, my mother said one sentence to me and my brother, something that was so important until today. She said, "Guys, remember to always let lady go first." Meaning, what I understood, having being 8, respect women, learn how to respect. So I remember as clear as day. I thought, that's interesting. Let me try. And you've got to understand, all my childhood I spent being in a Protestant church. A lot of people, there's like 300 people in our church, and I spent all my childhood being active participants in camps where, like, I don't know, 80, 100, 120 kids were there for a week or two. I had this whole time organized just to spend time there. I had plenty of occasion to test it. And I remember I started it, and I was so surprised that I saw so much positive reactions from, especially from girls, but that was I was mainly interested in. Although it worked with guys, and until today, I can see that this kind of respect that you do by just simply letting guys know, you open door for them. It just builds a relationship. And I did that for so many years, and until today I still do it, just because I can, just because I enjoy it. But interestingly enough, it opened for me the door to build so many relationships, especially with girls, that I was astonished that there was no person that I couldn't kind of get on my side if I wanted to, just because I was this gentleman, and I was kind, and it all came out not because I tried to manipulate anyone to anything. I just I've been like this for everyone, and then I was able to get attention of those girls that I wanted to get attention from, and that was amazing. And interestingly enough, 4 years later, when I was 12, that was the first moment my present wife, or only wife and present wife, saw me for the first time. She said that I caught her attention just by one simple thing: that I was a gentleman and I was kind to women. That was amazing because 8 years later, we got married, and until today, I cannot believe that 4 year older girl who was amazing at a level of intelligence, level of spirituality. She was top shelf person, if I can say it this way. And no one, even older guys who been there and had their, let's say, fame in our circles, none of them had guts enough, or enough guts to kind of reach and get her. I did. It's a longer story, but this whole thing is like, it all started with a simple thing, my mother telling me, and I kind of pursue that. So that's story number one. Story number two is that for the longest, always been fascinated with photography. I never did that really until, I don't know, early 2000s, I think, when I bought my camera. Because I had a like older one, but you had a film. It's like it had like 36 shots. So I've got some pictures from there, and I was doing it, but then I kind of did much more of it when I got my digital camera. But doesn't matter. I basically I always observed people who had a passion for this, and there was one guy who was brilliant. And Thomas, kudos to you if you ever watch this video. Um, this guy basically kind of, I was observing him, and he just saw my thing. And I remember two things out of our short history, but kind of interesting, because he is like almost 10 years older than me. I remember that we were on a camp once, and he did some made some photos, and and he printed them out because that was the time, and he just passed the album and showing us the photos and say, if you want some, I'll make some copies for you. And I saw, besides some other photos, I saw one when people were dancing, and it was a long exposure photo, and it was like, people were blurred, and it was really amazing, colorful photo. And I said, yeah, give me that one. And I just made a note and give it to him. He didn't know that I was the one who ordered this photo. And I remember as we talked later, and he said, when I saw that someone ordered this photo, I know that it has to be you. I was like, whoa, mate. I felt like recognized. That was so amazing from the person who did photos for so many years, that I was I was surprised. And then I remember that sometime later he told me, you wanna do a great photos, you've got to be brave. You've got to put yourself in a position that you'll be afraid to do it. Don't ask, just go behind someone who's doing something on stage. Just go and do the photos. So I basically did. And then I was able to make photos on weddings, make photos on conferences, make photos on so many things, concerts. Nobody, as I had nobody allowed me to do this. I just took my camera and just go towards on stage and making photos, like amazing. And it all that because of this one person who kind of pushed me towards doing this. And now, what do those two stories have in common, and what can you get from this? Even though I stopped it, years ago, I'm not even going forward in the future because it would take too long. First thing that I want you to understand, that you need to understand what is your strength, what is your passion, something that you can be complete lame, a complete noob in, but I want you to know it, and then I want to double on it. double tap. I want you to go wild with it. What I'm saying? What happened with me being a gentleman. Exactly what happened with me doing photos. It's just by saying, listen, I like to do I like this. I want to do this. So what can I do to kind of put myself in a position? I'm going to basically do this. So that's why you push yourself. You push yourself, and you allow yourself, not even asking, going on stage making photos. Just showing your passion. And that's the first thing. Know your strength and kind of double down on it. Second thing that I want you to understand, that was fascinating, that years ago I figured out that you are this kind of creature that is created, and not everything, but most of the stuff, at least I experienced it myself, they're coming together. So I was fascinated with people, fascinated with building relationships, and then I was fascinated with photography. Guess what kind of photography I was most passionate about? Portrait photography. You see, it all comes together. And I don't know if that's a rule. I don't know what is psychology background on it, but I was fascinated with it. I saw this in this, and I saw this in at least few more things that were kind of crucial to me as a person. That you can combine things that you're passionate about, and you can have some unique approach, like unique things that you can be really great at, and no one's going to be better because you got some experience and passion with one, experience and passion with second, and we put them together. It's completely amazing thing. So there are two things: know your strength, know what you're passionate about, double down on it, and then combine two that you find in yourself. And there's a rule number 3, which is also amazing, that kind of pushed me even farther in all of this. I was working in my company for 12 years when I finished working with them, and I don't know, 6 years after I started, maybe 8, someone approached me and told me, listen, you're doing photos, right? And I said, but yeah, I'm not doing it professionally, just for fun. And they said, listen, there's an idea that we want to make photos for people, for their badges in our company. I said, like, well, interesting. And they asked me, do you want to lead the project? I was like, well, let's try it. Let's just make it for fun, right? And then I never did this. I never really did anything in the corporate level. I had some exposure. I worked with some companies, but it was like small gatherings or something like this. And then I remember just try it out. Let's push ourselves. Why not? What is to lose? And I don't know. It was a year later, I was able. First of all, I went for YouTube because I didn't know how to do a portrait photos. Meaning, I never did like a business headshots. So what I did, I went for YouTube. I found the biggest name that I could put on the planet. I found Peter Harley. I watched his videos and I was amazed how he kind of did exactly what I try to do in kind of without understanding what I'm doing, trying to get expressions of the face and this whole thing. And 1 year later, I had over 300 people photographed for business headshots on a corporate level in, I think, one of the biggest corporations on the planet. Just because I knew what is my passion, I knew what I'm great at, what was my strength. I doubled down on it. Then I connected it with my the other way around. I connected that with my passion for people, to make a portrait photography, and then I kind of doubled down on my previous experience and my previous understanding that I can accomplish something that I never expected I can accomplish. You see what I'm saying? You've got to understand that if you build your confidence to some level, then you'll be able to use it. If I was able to do this, I'll be able to do that. Even though the thing that I asked me to do is completely out of my scope. I never did something like this. And then it helps you to make another step. And I could tell you stories for hours, how this simple thing started, so many things I did in that company, so many things with people, so many things with photography, so many things with the other things that I'm good at, I'm passionate about. But it all starts with you having a passion, knowing your strength, double downing on it. Then you're seeing that if you're good at something else, you can combine it. And 3, if you build your self-confidence to some level, then you have enough courage to take something connected or not really connected, but something new, and you'll say, if I was able to win here, I'm gonna do the same over here. So what I want you to take from this video: follow your guts, follow your passions, double down, be brave, just close your eyes and just go forward, combine it, and then build your self-confidence. And then if you see some possibilities, something that you never done before, you'll be able to make it, just as you were able to make so many things in your life. Think about it and just do it. See you tomorrow.